Hi everyone, and welcome to the first LHS Owlcast to ever be recorded. I'm Skylar Wolkoff, and I'll be your host. It was my pleasure to sit down with Mr. Chuck Perl, who is the president of Outfront Incorporated, a company that has been in business in Lynbrook for over 40 years. I hope you enjoy listening. Hi, Mr. Perl.
Hello.
Thank you for coming on the podcast. So we're going to start off with some questions about your early life and your family. So where did you grow up and what was your childhood like?
Okay. So I grew up in Flatbush, New York, there in Brooklyn, there. And I was an only child. And my three closest friends who lived on the same block, remember, we were born pretty much in the late 1930s, after the Depression, right. And people were only having one child. Yeah. So I didn't have any brothers or sisters, but these friends became they substituted as brothers. Wow. And we grew up together and grew up in an apartment house there and went to a elementary school where I walked 10 blocks there. And in those days, after the second grade, I just walked on my own, crossing the street. And at the big avenues, I was told to go over to an adult and say, Mr. or Mrs., can you help me cross the street?
Are you still friends with them now?
No.
No? Oh. Throughout life, did you stay friends with them?
I stay, well, the boyhood friends that I have, I'm still in touch with two of them.
Oh, really?
There. And it's because I'm very proactive. I reach out all the time.
That's good. Okay. What was your first job and what did it teach you?
Okay. So my first job came at age 16. I was in junior achievement, and our sponsors was a company called American Machine and Foundry. And American Machine and Foundry was a manufacturing company located in Brooklyn. They were a big company. They made the bowling to pick up the items and the pin setters, and they also made tobacco machines, making cigarettes and other things. And they were our sponsors, and I went to one of them at age 16, and I said, I need a summer job. And they hired me, and my first job paid me $34 a week. Yeah. And I had to take 2 buses to get there. And I started that at the end of June, working till the end of August. And because in those days, none of the apartments really had air conditioning, and it was hot. And I told my father if he would advance the payment for an air conditioner, I'll give him my salary every week. And my entire salary went to getting an air conditioner for my bedroom.
That's really funny. What was the first moment that you realized that you wanted to become an entrepreneur, that you wanted to have your own business and be as successful as you are right now?
Yeah, and I think it had to do with junior achievement. When we were building a business, we would buy stock. I was the sales manager. I loved going out to department stores, meeting the buyers, getting the high when we made a sale there. And I always was interested in that. I always, even as at 8, 9, 10 years old, in those days there were what they called incinerator rooms. Your garbage went down a chute there. And at the floor of these incinerator rooms, people would put their old magazines. National Geographic, Life, Saturday Evening Post, Reader's Digest, and sometimes I would go around picking up these old magazines and then getting an orange crate and selling them for 5 cents each on the street. So that was my first entrepreneurial work.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's great. So I had the honor of listening to your presentation, and you talked about how you went to NYU Stern School of Business. What was that kind of like, and what are the differences that you see now? Okay,
so, well, first of all, when I entered Stern, in retrospect, I was too young. I was only 17. And at that time, there were, it was the Korean War. getting over. And a lot of the incoming freshmen at that time had served in the war, and they were coming back, and they were 22, 23. Oh, wow. And I was not a mature 17. I was a really young 17. Okay. And my first year at NYU there, I didn't do well because I didn't study. And I was put on the dean's list, but not the good dean's list. It was called probation. And one of the lessons that I learned was because I failed 2 courses, I had to go to summer school. And I went to my father and I said to him, and remember in those days, I paid a total of like $675 for a semester of 16 credits. And I said to him, Dad, I have to go to summer school to make up these credits. And he said to me, I'm not paying for courses you failed. You're going to pay it. And I had to go to my bar mitzvah money that I had saved to pay for that. And my father refused to pay, but it was a great lesson. Yeah. And that was my incentive. And the next year, I ended up on the other dean's list, was that straight A's.
The good one.
The good list.
Okay. Were there any teachers or mentors in school that had a major impact on your future?
Yeah, I think that one of the major ones was a marketing professor there, because he would give the class projects to work on. And I actually came out with a project before seatbelts were really mandatory, of showing why seatbelts could save lives and things like that, and how it could affect insurance rates and other things. And he would constantly challenge me. So being challenged was a really good thing.
Yeah. Do you prefer, in a school setting, do you prefer being lectured at or more hands-on experience?
Hands-on.
Yeah.
Hands-on.
100%. Okay. So I know that you work in the Lynbrook community. How long have you been a part of the Lynbrook community?
So we go back, when we first started our business, we had a little place about 1,000 square feet in Valley Stream, and then moved to Wilbur Street, and then to Horton Avenue, in a building where I've been now for more than 45 years. Wow. At one time, it was 30,000 square foot building, which we rented, and now we only have about 5,000 square feet for offices there. But it's a rental. I never bought the building or anything.
And this is Outfront. Right?
Outfront Incorporated, which is the company where we buy and sell semiconductors, electronic components.
Oh, wow.
And China is our biggest trading partner.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. What first brought you to Lynbrook?
The thing that brought me to Lynbrook was the opportunity for one of the business that we built there. And it was actually part of a warehouse that was owned by a company on Wilbur Street, Peerless Electronics, which was a large distributor. And they rented us part of their warehouse. And I learned a lot from the owner of that company, too, who was a great guy.
That's amazing. So what do you enjoy most about working in Lynbrook, and what are some of the struggles that you encounter working in Lynbrook?
First of all, I like where our location is. It's next door to a firehouse.
Okay.
And there's always activities going on at the firehouse there. So in all these years, we've never had a break-in or anything like that.
That's great.
There. And so I feel it's a very safe community. I like the restaurants around. When I go out for lunch, there's a good choice of restaurants. And I'm a reverse commuter. I take the train, the Long Island Railroad, from the city. It takes me 30 minutes. And the other thing I do is, whether I get off in Valley Stream or Lynbrook, because we're midway between the two,
right,
is that I walk. And I walk pretty fast, and that's my exercise.
That's great.
And going home at night, I time it so that if I don't walk fast enough, I miss the train.
That's That's really funny. So we can talk about Central Park. How long have you been doing those tours in Central Park?
So I've been doing these tours now for over 20 years.
Wow.
There, and I meet amazing people. I do a lot of work with the United Nations. Every year I do the incoming spouses of the new ambassadors, and that always ends up being linked to there's the ambassadors, generals, foreign ministers there. And what's really interesting about these tours is that people really appreciate it because I'm very interactive with these tours. So I show them how we can even talk to strangers, and everyone talks to me.
I like how when you were talking during your presentation about the picture thing, I thought that was pretty cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also, when I do this, I never ask anyone, would you like me to take your picture? Because in sales, you never ask a question that could be answered with a no.
Right.
I always say, give me your camera, and I'll capture the moment.
I like that. That's nice. What is your favorite part of Central Park?
My favorite part, I think, is Bethesda Fountain there. And Bethesda Fountain was built and done in commemoration of bringing fresh water to New York City. In the 1840s and 1850s, New York City suffered from cholera, which is a terrible disease that comes from bad drinking water. And in 1858, they brought fresh water from the Croton Reservoir. And the fresh water that comes to New York City comes through sand and gravel, which is a fabulous filtering thing. And that's why you never buy bottled water in New York City. You only ask for tap water. And that's why the bagels and the pizza dough is so good in New York, because it all comes from the water. And the Bethesda Fountain was done to commemorate that event.
That's beautiful. So I know you've been in a couple businesses and owned a couple businesses yourself. Do you want to talk about a couple of those? And just...
Sure. So I'll give you a few different things there. So one of the businesses is located in China. I've been going to China for more than 45 years.
Wow.
I have a huge network in China.
Can you speak Chinese?
I speak about 3 words. And actually in China, all the children there are learning English.
Wow.
That's a mandatory thing for them.
Wow,
The Chinese, how many of our kids are learning Mandarin?
Yeah, right.
1.3 billion people speak that language. I find that the Chinese are fabulous to work for. They're smart, they're hardworking, and you have to develop relations there. And that's why I go there quite often. And China is going to be one of the biggest economic entities in the world, because they're very hardworking and they're just on top of things, and they'll get things done.
100%. Okay. So what has been your biggest challenge that you've faced as a business owner?
So the challenges that you face in any business, there are always ups and downs.
Right.
So when you come into a down area where sales have fallen off or things like that, it's really important to think, okay, what else can I do to bring in business? What can I do to make things better?
Right.
And sometimes the adversity, for example, right now, a lot of people don't realize this, there is a shortage of helium, the gas helium.
Yeah.
And when you think about helium, where it comes from, most people think it comes from the birthday balloons where you inhale and then you talk like this. But helium is a byproduct of natural gas production. And because there is limited natural gas production now, there's a big shortage of helium. And it turns out helium is used for the production of semiconductors, electronic parts, and medical devices. and therefore there is a shortage of these. And every time there's a shortage of a product, that is something that's to our advantage because of the connections we have.
Right.
We know where to get these parts.
Right.
So that helps our business.
Wow. Okay. So now we'll talk about maybe some advice that you have for high school students and are interested in pursuing having a business career.
Okay. So again, as I did in my talks today, the most important thing is network.
Right.
Build your network. Build the friends that you have here. And most important, especially for seniors who are going to colleges all over the United States, keep in touch. Be proactive. If you have a friend that's in Yale, going to Yale, and you're in Syracuse, tell them that you heard about Pepe's Pizza in New Haven there, and you would like to come for a weekend. So be proactive.
Right.
Make things happen. Get out. Network.
Right.
And be the one to make the call. Don't be the one to say, oh, they called me last. I called them. They owe me a call.
Yeah. I like with the abbreviations that you had during your presentation, something about getting out of your comfort zone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an important thing. Most people stay within their comfort zone.
Yeah.
And you have to realize what your comfort zone is and exit it.
Yeah.
Take risk. Don't be afraid to fail.
Totally. Yeah. Maybe what does being a good leader mean to you?
Being a good leader is also showing that you're able to take on risk, that you're able to also do things for other people and expect nothing in return.
Right.
And then you never are disappointed.
Yeah, I like when you said that in your presentation. It got me thinking about some of the other leadership positions that I've had myself and thinking about like the mindset that my peers had compared to what I had, you know, and like my mindset was trying to give to others while their mindset was what can they do for me.
Yes, always think first, what can you do for the other person and expect nothing in return.
Right.
And by doing that, you can be extremely successful. Most people are only concerned with what can be done for them.
Right. Okay. Can you share a leadership lesson that has stuck with you throughout your career? And also, I don't know if I said this before, but this is edited. So if you ever want to take something out, you can say something. Obviously, this is going to be taken out, but no pressure.
So again, on leadership, I think, without going into any specifics, I think the best leadership lessons you learn is when you screwed up, when you did something that didn't work, and how you fixed it.
Yeah.
There. That is the best leadership thing, without making excuses, and to learn from that.
Yeah.
And then pick up the pieces and move on.
Yeah. When you think about the mistakes that you've made, do you ever like regret them or like think about them?
That uses up negative energy.
Right.
So I try not to do that. I try to switch into positive thinking.
Right.
Okay, this screwed up. And especially if it's something that I can't change, I put my focus on what new things I can be putting energy into. Beating yourself up for something that you have no control or that you did bad, learn from it and move on.
Right. How do you stay so positive? What do you do to help yourself stay so positive?
I think it's a gene.
Really?
I think it's a gene. I just have that in me. And but
amazing.
It can be developed.
Right.
You just have to catch yourself, you know.
Before you.
Yeah, and one of the things that I also mentor a lot of young people there, and some of the people that I mentor that do have that, I have a very simple thing. I tell them to take a kind of thick rubber band and put it around your
I've
wrist.
heard that, yeah.
Okay, and when you have negative thoughts, snap it.
Right.
And let me tell you something, it works.
It does. I should probably try it.
Well, you seem to be positive.
Thank you.
You have a great smile.
Thank you very much. So, what keeps you motivated after all these years in business?
Money is not the object.
Right.
I'm in a very comfortable position now. I really don't have to work for a day in my life. My goal is to live and to keep working till I'm like 100, 110. The other thing I'll share with you, my famous retirement story. Many years ago, when my parents retired to Florida at age 65, we went down with our kids to visit them during Christmas week. And my mother was going to make a big dinner, invite family. And she sends my father and I to Publix, which is the big supermarket there.
Yeah.
As we're checking out, I say to my father, Dad, I remember Mom wanted ketchup. Let me go get it. And he grabbed my arm and he said, wait. That's on my afternoon shopping list. And at that minute, I said, I will never retire.
Yeah.
True story.
That's really funny.
And I share that with a lot of people who are talking about retirement
Yeah.
there. And I call it the ketchup story. And some of the people who have said, well, I'm going to play golf. But the reality is, if you don't keep busy with something, your brain goes to mush.
Do you have kids?
Yes, I have one daughter there and two grandchildren.
Wow.
There, and
They live in Florida?
no.
Oh.
My daughter lives within a 15-minute walk.
Oh, that's great.
And the other advantage we have, for example, now she's in Arizona on a long weekend trip with some friends, and we're dog sitting.
Oh.
So I have something better than having your own dog. I have a grand dog.
Oh.
Grand dogs are much better
Yeah.
because I can play with them, take them for a walk, and give them back.
Right. A lot to take care of, yeah. How old are your grandchildren?
My grandchildren now are 21 and 23.
Oh, wow.
My grandson is at Northeastern. He was thinking of going into urban planning,
Oh, wow.
but he's kind of changed that now where he feels urban planning will just have him sitting in a cubicle doing that. And he's thinking more of psychology.
Oh,
because,
that's what I want to do.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. My wife is a clinical psychologist.
Oh, wow.
So if, by the way, here's an opportunity
Yes.
for you. So if any time you would like to talk with her, she supervised people.
Wow.
And
Yeah, I'd love to do
her
that.
her specialty is children. But
crazy.
the interesting thing about that, the problem when you deal with the children is never with the children. It's always the parents.
Yeah. Yes.
So there's an opening that you stumbled on,
Yeah.
and all you have to do is reach out, and I'll have you speak to Dr.
Yeah, I'd love to do that.
yes.
Thank you so much. Okay. What's the time? Where are we at?
24.
Oh, okay. So we'll do a closing question here. Is there anything you'd like young people in Lynbrook to know as they prepare for their futures?
Yeah, I think it's not just Lynbrook, but it goes back to the same thing: building your friendships, keeping them going, doing things for other people, doing volunteering
Yeah.
there, and don't expect anything in return.
Yeah.
And then you can be very successful.
Thank you for listening to our podcast. We'd like to thank Chuck Perl for joining us and sharing his experiences and insights. We hope you enjoy this episode, and we'll see you next time.